Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. Today, I thought I would talk about something different. Many of us, I'm sure, know about it. There may be a little bit in the course of my conversation that you might not, but I wanted to talk about it's something off topic from what I normally discuss, but I wanted to talk about technology through the years. As we all know, you know, going back, you know, we had your 8 tracks, which, and then you had the cassette, and then you had, other forms of technology came about, the record, the 45, and then came the CD in the early 80s. But, all of that technology, for the most part, they consider obsolete. But as far as I'm concerned, because of, I have a, a collection of music myself, I don't feel that way. Um, you know, for example, back in the late 80s, probably right around 1989, I'm guessing, going into 90, um, CDs outsold records. So what did they do? They made records an outgoing thing. They lowered the price, people could buy them, and that would be that. But that wasn't the case. So here we are in 2021. You can go to pretty much any audio store, Best Buy or something like that, even Walmart, and go into the Sight and Sound or the electronics section and look at different CDs, and right in there, you're going to have record albums. I don't know how I feel about paying $20, $25 for a record, considering that some of those titles I paid $6.99, $7.49, $6.49 for, 35, 40 years ago, give or take. I did get into CDs right around 1986. Keep in mind, a CD was a lot more expensive then than what it is now. Back then, a CD was around $13, $14, mainly because it was fairly new technology at the time. But all of that they say is considered obsolete. I feel it's not. Too many people out there are loyal to it. Cassettes, 8 tracks, same thing. Of course, this is just me. In comparison to an 8 track to a cassette tape, keep in mind an 8 track is a wider tape, twice the playback speed. A cassette tape is 1 7/8 inches per second, and an 8 track is 3 3/4 inches per second. So that's not really that hard to figure out. Let's see, what else was there back then? Of course, many of us may or may not know of this technology, is a reel-to-reel tape deck. Now, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 50s, that was the prime way for a person, to record your record albums and your music. And then all you had to do was just hit play, and you had hours of music listening without having to go over, take the record, turn it over, and start playing it again. Again, a lot of people in today's world still like that particular recording medium, mainly because when you listen to tape, or record with tape even, it has a way of EQing your music. It'll put more mid-range into the sound. It just has a way of equalizing your sound. Whereas comparing it to a digital device, it's not going to do that. A digital device, whatever you feed it is what's going to come back out, because the only thing digital does is it clones whatever it is you're wanting to record. That's it. Let's see. Another method of recording that came out that I did like was something called digital audio tape deck. Sony, Tascam, they did make them for the consumer, but you had something called serial copying management system, which means it would allow you to make a digital copy, but you could only make just that one copy. If you wanted to copy from that copy to make another copy, it would not allow you to do that. You would have to go and get a professional unit in order to be able to have that compatibility. I myself, to this day, still like the sound quality of a DAT recorder. I prefer it better than a CD recorder. To me, less compression, just a better sound. But I just want to say, even though I mentioned brand names, I do not own any copyright or anything whatsoever for that. I'm just calling out a few manufacturers that made these components, and that's it. The only other device that ever came out that I thought that was pretty neat, considered obsolete now, is something called a mini disc. It was about that wide, and in the middle you had like an itty bitty, it looked like a CD, and there was like a small magnetic strip on the bottom. And when you went to record your music, it all went on that magnetic strip. The sound quality was pretty good. Not quite as good as the DAT, but I don't think it's really anything that the human ear would or would not pick up. But I had a chance, years ago, teens, 20s, 30s, to, experiment with all of those recording mediums. And I would have to say my top recording medium is not only the DAT recorder, I am still a fan of the reel-to-reel. Unsurpassed technology, and their sound quality can't be beat. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and watching this segment. I hope it is of some interest to you. It's something different. And, if there's any questions or anything, I will try and do my best to answer them in the comment section. Also, if you like what you see, please definitely subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a great day.